about made this wig fit on my head. It's been in a box for a while. It's gone a little bit messy. It's just, I don't think this is quite on my head properly, but it's not got a proper wig cap, and so I'm supposed to be the doctor. Can you tell? Only just. This wig is not. It was. I think it was advertised as being in the Raquel Welch collection. I think it's not. It's some sort of knockoff that I got. It was a £5 wig, and it shows, doesn't it? But yes, it's near enough. Look, I'm the doctor. Yeah, maybe not. Anyway, I've just seen the last of that particular six episode story arc of Doctor Who. And yes, it was the last episode. What else can you say? Yeah, there are going to be more specials throughout the year, and I think it's going to be the anniversary of the beginning next November. And that is, November the 23rd it is the anniversary. And then I don't know what's going to happen after that. But I'm feeling a little bit sort of on edge here because I've got this, I've put the camera on the other side and I'm like, where is it? Yeah. Hello, Michelle. Did you see Doctor Who? Do you like Doctor Who? I don't know whether you do or not, but I just watched it and I'm just trying to... Yeah, that's better. Much better. Don't know whether I need this anymore, because the reason I have this is because my other camera didn't pick up light very well. So let's see if I can do without it. Ah! I can! Hooray! The distracting circle of death and doom is gone! Hurrah! Now, much better. Hello, Philip. So that's good. Hooray. So yes, I am all dolled up to be like, see, I've got my hoodie on, not the same hoodie as the doctor, not the same hair, not the same anything, but I thought I'd make an effort, really. You don't watch live TV? Oh, well, if you want to watch it later. Anyway, so I won't spoil it for you. I'm just going to be wearing my wiggy wig. See, it's not even, like, my hair's not even tucked in underneath it properly. Just that sort of suits me, doesn't it? Sort of, even though this is a really cruddy wig. Trying to stop myself from saying bad words. Cruddy? Is that a bad word? Probably not. A silly wig. It looks a bit gingery in this light. It's not. It's blondish. But, you know, it's a strawberry blonde and blonde. It's a very thin line, isn't it? Anyway, I don't know whether to keep it on or not. I think I am going to keep it on. Just for. Yeah, watched a lot of TV this week. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. It was pretty good. Wasn't the best it could be. It was a little bit like, what's going on? Let's just stick all the stories into one episode and just keep going. It's like this and then that and then this and then that. And then this. It was lots of ideas shoved like a little sausage, like a sausage of ideas. Like this, the sausage skins. Shove it all in. We've got the sausage. Let's cook it up now. So that's, but it was good. There was the germs of some ideas, but then it was like it's like the whole Doctor's identity and the pocket watch, and then let's just whatever. A bit rushed, exactly, a bit rushed. But we shall see what we shall see. And I'm quite happy that some of the fan theories weren't what didn't happen. Hello, Terry. Weren't what people said they were, because it would have been a bit silly if they had been, really. But yeah. This is sort of longish to it. It's like when I give myself a haircut and it's all over the place, but it's a wig that's supposed to look like this. It's the same, more or less the same style as my hair now, except weird blondie orange colour. Yeah, so shall I just dye it this colour? No, don't do that. Oh, I thought when I was a kid, I remember thinking, when I get to a certain age, when I get to like old, like 30 or something, I'm going to dye my hair pink. And I never dyed my hair pink. It was like, when my hair goes completely white, I will dye it pink. But it's still mostly brown, so I'm not going to dye it pink yet. It's like naturally this colour. My dad didn't start going grey until he was about 60. He's still got dark hair, but he started losing his hair at about 60 something. So he lost he lost hair, but he still sort of got dark hair, you know what I mean. And my Uncle Arthur was in his 90s, and he was, my great Uncle Arthur, was in his 90s and still had quite dark hair. My grandmother used to go, look, I've still got, she had very white hair, but she still had a tiny patch of, she'd go, look, I've still got my black hair underneath. She had very black hair, very dark hair. And my hair is not as dark as any of those, but who knows? Maybe when I'm 90 years old, I'll still have dark hair, and then a lot of white hair as well in between. But some dark hair. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I could just dye it this colour. Sort of. Actually, photographs quite well. It looks terrible. It might. I might be wrong. Maybe it doesn't. But from what I can see, it looks better than it does in the mirror. For sure, it does, because it looks terrible in my bathroom mirror. I say that my bathroom mirror is. It was installed before I'm 5'6", just about, like 167 centimeters, so just a titchy bit underneath 5'6", and the mirror is sort of here to me. So I'm just like, I have to jump to see it, and because my ankle's still a little bit bad, jumping up and down to try and see myself in the mirror is not feasible, really. I did have a little stool that I stood on, but that's used somewhere else, so I can't really see what I look like at all. So when I go out of the house in the morning, if I look like a human being, it'll be a miracle, because I've got no clue what I look like. I can't tell. And I think probably that's visible to everyone else. When it's been an interesting week. I don't know. I booked my ticket home to see my parents in Wales, but that's in 2 weeks' time, and anything can happen in 2 weeks' time. Who even knows what's going to happen in 2 weeks' time? It could be. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, everything's back to normal. Everyone's going, and a lot of people are like, don't be pessimistic. It's all great. Don't put plans off. It's all great, and then stuff happens. Like, there's been a lot of stuff happening, and the people around me. And the other people are like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm like, you say that, but a little bit worried about it. But it's probably going to be fine. It might be fine. I don't know whether it's fine. But anyway, book the ticket home. And so hopefully I will go there for the Christmas holidays. La, la, la. So that'll be nice. And so I suppose I better get presents and stuff for people. I don't know what to get. No clue what to do. I haven't got a clue what to do. Wipe out. So I don't know really. I don't know what everybody else is planning to do. I was going to get another lucky box earlier, but there was like first 100 to respond. And I was like, yeah, straight on there. No, you're not first 100. You can't have one. So that's probably just as well, because what do I really need them? It's always stuff I don't need, but I just like opening stuff. And I got those mints the last time, and I looked them up, and their retail price is more than £10, and it was less than £1 for me. And I was like, yeah, mints, and they're very big, minty mints. My mum used to make mints like that at Christmas. She didn't put the chocolate on them, but she used to make like the fondant mints, and used to hang them on the Christmas tree, and I really liked them. And she used to make them as presents for everybody, and like have a little stack of them and wrap them up and give them to people. And then one Christmas, one of my mother's relatives said, those terrible mints that you always get that are really hard, they're so terrible, they're so ridiculous, and made my mum feel really bad, and made me feel bad too, because I was like, I like those mints, and my mother's made an effort on those, and you're just like throwing them aside, spurning them. People are horrible, really. Like, because when you do things for people, you do special things, and you're like, hey, this is appreciated, and you put an effort into it, and then ages later they go, that stupid, ridiculous thing that was so funny and ridiculous and stupid, and why did you do that? What a waste of time, what an idiot you are. And you make everybody feel bad, because all the people that liked it feel bad, and the people that made it feel bad. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Really. And also, old grievances. My mother always used to make for my grandparents. My grandmothers used to come round, and my Auntie May used to come round on Saturday or Sunday tea, and we used to have a big spread. It was a bit like a children's party, really, but it was, bread and butter and cake and like fruit salad maybe, and all the sort of tea time fare, a big thing. And it was because it was like so that my grandmothers and my Auntie May would have a nice time, and we'd eat those, and it was true, because, you know, that's what people of my mum's generation and before that used to, just a spread of lovely, and it's hospitality. It's nice. It was nice. But, and I never thought of it as children's party food. It was just tea time food. And it was lovely. And then when I went to visit my my auntie in France, she was like, ha ha ha, that ridiculous, that spread, the food that your mother puts on, like, because, you know, in France they have big sort of cooked meals and stuff for visitors, but it was like, this is tea time. It's not the same as a dinner party. It was tea time fare for my grandmothers who really appreciated it. And how dare you mock this traditional British tea time fare? How dare you? So it made me feel a little bit like aggrieved. It's like, well, I like it. I haven't had that sort of, I haven't had a British tea time tea, you know, a tea party for ages. Yes, but it was good. It was good old fashioned British tea time. I like that. And it's like, oh, now you've made me feel bad as well. And you've made me feel Anyway, so people should be nice about things that other people do for them, because, oh, that's another thing. I got a coffee, grievances are all coming out. This is basically grievance half hour now. I, at college, got a thing to make, not like a spray, like a cappuccino type maker. So it was a thing, it's sort of a steamer maker. Now, I'm not a milk fan really, but it was nice to make, like, stick the steamer in the milk and then froth it up, and it would get like hot milk. And then I was like, well, I'm not a fan of this milk, so I'm not going to have it. If I'm going to make for all my friends, I'm going to make them, it's like, do you want a cappuccino? I'm going to make you a cappuccino. And I made them all cappuccinos with this frother, and I thought it was amazing. It's like, yeah, no, I didn't test it because I don't like milks and I just have black coffee. But they would all have this. And it was like, yum, they would go, this is nice. And then ages later, one of the friends that I made this for was like, oh, do you remember those stupid, terrible coffees that were all cold and horrible that you used to make for us? And they were so rubbish. It's like, well, if you said that at the time, I would have done something about it. But what? And another thing, I used to make this thing, this is definitely grievance half hour. I used to make this thing, I used to put like mayonnaise and tomato puree and mix it up and make a dip. Because it was nice, I thought. It was nice, a nice dip. And I'd make this for people and they wouldn't complain. They'd just go, nice dip. And then ages later they would go, do you remember that terrible dip you used to make that was so rubbish? It's like, why are you telling me now? Why didn't you just tell it me at the time? Because now you've made me feel really bad because you didn't say, I don't like this. So I go, well, they like this, I'll make it them again. And then so it compound it. And if the first time you said, I don't really like that, can I have something else? I'd go, of course, that's fine. But then, having done the same thing and trying to please people by repeating the same, what turned out to be a terrible mistake, but you were like, you appreciate this. You've shown that you would, grateful and joyful at it. So what I'm trying to say is, don't, like, ages later tell people what terrible mistakes they've made. Just say it nicely at the time, the first time, and then they don't have to do it again. Or never say anything about it ever, which is probably better. Just put up with it. Just go, yeah, and make them feel good that they've done this nice thing for you. Even if you hate it, that's probably best. Either just say something the first time and then they can make amends and do something better, and that's fine. Or never mention it ever again, ever. Keep quiet. That's probably best. Keep quiet. Don't mention it, because is it any, they're not doing it anymore. It's fine. Now that you're going to make them feel bad about something that they can't do anything about, why would you do that? Rubbish. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with Doctor Who. It's just suddenly all my old grievances have come. It's just like, and another thing. Anyway, I think that's just my old... So I've got grievances to those other people, but I'm not telling them to their faces. Although probably the look on my face when they were telling me that they didn't like these things was probably like... So they probably could have told at the time that I wasn't happy with them. But they carried on saying it anyway. Yeah, anyway. Doctor Who was fun. It was good. had lots of people in it and stuff. And movement and light, and they'd go here and they'd go there. I'm trying to say something without spoiling it. It was like, yeah, whatever. And yeah, I've seen a lot of media this week, a lot of things. I'm trying to watch. I've heard that Canada's Drag Race is coming to BBC. They didn't. The first season it was on BBC iPlayer. They haven't put it on BBC iPlayer. So it's like, how can I get hold of this? And like, it turns out to be on Wow Presents that you have to pay for. I'm like, And apparently the next season of main RuPaul's Drag Race is also only going to be on Wow Presents. It's like, well, I'm already paying for Amazon Prime, and we're paying for Netflix, and it's like, oh, it's not going to be on Netflix. It's like, oh. The only reason I'm still paying for Amazon Prime is my dad found out that he can watch football on Amazon Prime, so I put him on my family account so he can watch football using because I don't really watch anything. What have I tried to watch? Ammonite today, and that was all right. I tried to watch The Danish Girl. It's just like, oh, this is a stupid film, but it's like films about real people but are sort of made up. The Danish Girl. It's a film about a real person, but it's sort of made up. And it's like made up in a like, this is a bit offensive and weird, and I think probably you should stick to the real life of the person. And Ammonite, again, it's like you go, oh, this is quite an interesting film. I haven't seen all the way through it, but you're like, oh, yeah. And you look up the people. It's Mary Anning, who discovered a lot of fossils, and then she helps some young person played by is it Saoirse Ronan? I can't remember how to pronounce her name, even though I've seen a video about how she pronounces her name. Saoirse. Anyway, her. Hello, greetings. Anyway, she's in it, and she looks after her and nurses her to health and teaches her about fossils and love and things like that. I haven't watched the whole of it, but then I was like, oh, look up on Wikipedia all about these people, and Mary Anning, it's like, oh, sad life and whatever, la 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 la. No, no proof that she ever met this other person that she's nursing to health and helping learn about fossils. But the person who's much younger in the film that she's teaching about life and fossils and stuff actually knew enough about fossils. You look up her real life, she's 11 years older than Mary Anning was, and she discovered loads of fossils and stuff on her own and drew pictures of it. So it's like, well, this makes no sense, though. It'd be quite interesting that maybe if these two people met, they could talk about fossils. I'd watch that. And it's like, yeah, this is an interesting film. I suppose it's nice, but it's not really based on their lives. And it's a bit silly, really, when you start thinking about it like that. But okay, make what you want of it. It's, I suppose, these people are long gone. If you want to make stuff up about them, they're not going to come back from the grave and go, no, that never happened, because it doesn't really matter, I suppose, in the end. But it's just like, it's a little bit insulting for the other person that was being taught about fossils and stuff, she knew about fossils. That's the main grievance I've got. It's like, she knew about fossils. What on earth is this? Making her out like she's just sort of like mooning around going, oh, that's nice, there's some fossils. And stuff, but she knows about them. That's probably a silly grievance to have. I don't even know where I was starting with this. My point was, I've got Amazon Prime and I don't watch it very much. And you can't libel the dead. I had this conversation about somebody was writing a memoir about their husband, they're helping their husband write a memoir. I was going, oh, well, I'm saying these things about these people, what can I just say? You can't libel the dead. I know this very well. I worked in journalism for ages, and I know you can't libel the dead. But, I mean, their family might get a bit upset if you said something about them. Like, I was writing a novel about a Victorian ventriloquist called Walter... I can't even remember what it was because I've forgotten. Anyway, their stage name was Lydia Dreams, and they were called Walter. I can't even remember because it's ages. Because I blanked it out of my memory. Because I was really getting into this research. They were a real person. I've said this before. Because I'd seen one of their dummies in the Museum of London. It had real human teeth and hair, and it was creepy ass. And a big picture called Popularity, a big picture called Popularity of all the early 1900s, all the musical stars of the time, and it was painted by this ventriloquist, and he was standing in the corner. Now his stage name was Lydia Dreams, because he used to dress up as a nurse and like pretend to be administering to these what turned out to be dummies. Like there was like apparently one that was lying in bed and would just sit up. So it was more like automatons really, and they were just like, and he'd throw his voice and it sounds like the most bizarre thing ever. The point is, he was a real person. So I started writing about this and writing a sort of fictional thing, and it had sort of supernatural elements in it as well. And I was really getting into this, and it was quite, and I was like, oh, Lydia Dreams, yeah, Sumerian, Lydian gods and goddesses and stuff and whatever. And I started writing about this, and I was like starting to write about, the real life and stuff of this person. Then I found out that their great granddaughter or something had gone to a museum in Texas that is what was it? Yeah, they were in Australia. That's it. They were in Australia, and they'd written a paper about their great grandfather and the stuff he did. And I was like, oh no, somebody that never met this person but was related to them is still alive. I'd better stop writing it. And it's ridiculous really, because it's like probably nobody that knew them is alive now, but I felt guilty about it. But I suppose I could probably go back to that now. It's another 10 years on, so it's more distance from it really. Maybe I will do that. If I could only remember what I was writing. I still got about 20,000 words on it. It was quite interesting what I was writing. I enjoyed it. But then I felt bad about writing about somebody whose great grandchildren might still be alive. Yeah. So, I suppose Mary Anning didn't have any children. There's nobody to go, but apparently, no, 2 of her great nieces had seen it, and one of them said that they don't mind the film, and it was like, yeah, that's fine. If you want to make up a love story, that's fine. The other one was like, oh, outrage. I don't think you should have done that to my very distant relative. 1847 is when she passed away, and the other person, 1869. So it's a long time in the past. Well, you say that though. Yeah, but thinking about that, some people, like I was thinking about this, like I know people like whose great grandparents they've met their great grandparents. And I know people whose great grandparents are still living, because they are very young, and people have had kids, 16, 17, then you can have that. Now, my great grandparents were born in the 1860s and 70s. That's a long time ago. I'm still living. My mum's still living. My grandparents are not still living, unfortunately. My great grandparents died before I was born. But I know people that know their great-grandparents and still know them. So one of my grandfathers died the week that I was born. So he was alive when I was born, but then he's not. It does mean that if I'm doing family history and DNA, I can trace it to people that probably are still alive. I think I saw something about Thomas Jefferson's grandson is still alive, something like that, and even though he died a lot longer than 200 years ago, I think now, because one of his sons was like 80 in a second marriage and had a child, and then their son was about 80, and so yeah, that's not long. You can actually sometimes trace family history back. Just through, really quickly, there, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know my distant relatives, my distant far back in the past. I know I haven't got time travel. Yeah, you'd think I do. Look, I've got the hair for the time travel. Ooh, but I haven't done time travel. Yeah. So, I'm quite happy with this camera-ish. If you can hear me, that's good. I hope it hasn't got all mechanical. I hope I'm not sounding like a Dalek. Or a Cyberman. Oh no, gold kills a Cyberman. It's white on that side, yes. My haircut Oh, thank you. It's not a new haircut. It's a wig. But thank you very much. It's a wig. It's a wig with, oops, blonde. Yeah. And my ankle's a little bit better today. I think it might still be a little bit out of its socket, but I sort of pushed it back in and it clicked, and it's maybe going to get better from now on. Ah, you only guessed it was a wig. I thought you really thought that this terrible hair was my hair. Thank you for the compliment about my terrible hair. It really suits me, this terrible hair, doesn't it? Yeah. Better than the pink wig that I bought, that I spent money on. I don't know where that's gone now. So there's a thing. There you go. I just put all the wigs on. There's a hair piece. That's nice, isn't it? Really great. There you go. Multi-level hairstyle. Harpo Marks 1. La la la. It's so gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, look. This is the Hannah Montana one. I thought I'd lost that. Hannah Montana on top of that. I'm Hannah Montana, Dr. Boo, and all the other people. This one on the top of that. Wow! Rock chick. Yeah, anyway, that was fun. Take some of them off, but not all of them. I'll just leave this one on. As if it's my real hair. La 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 la. Christmas song. Shall I make up a Christmas song? Happy Hanukkah, it's Christmas. New Year and Easter too. It's Kwanzaa after Christmas. And it's nothing else instead of that. After that, I don't know. There's weeks and weeks and weeks without an event. And then you've got St. Valentine's Day and St. David's Day and summer, and then Halloween, and then it's Christmas and Hanukkah again next year, and all the other events that people have, and the Festival of Lights, and other things. Chinese New Year before that. I forgot about Chinese New Year. It's a lot of things for a lot of people, and we should celebrate all of it, every single thing. And the good thing about being a little bit atheist is you can go, oh, I'll have some of that. No matter what it is, I'll have a celebration of everybody's celebrations. They're all quite fun, and they've all got merit, and I don't hate religion. I love religion, and I like the lack of religion too. I like everything. I like everything about all of you, no matter what you do. And hello, Mike. Hello, everybody. Whatever you celebrate, I'll say yes to that. Why not to that? It's a good idea if you like it. And why not, as long as you don't do any human sacrifice. And that will be bad. If you do that, don't do that. Apart from that, I'm on board with whatever it is. I'd be very good at those rap battles. So none of it would rhyme. None of it would make sense. But yes, basically, whatever celebration you've got, I'm with that. As long as it's not, I probably would have a problem with the Incans and they're throwing people in volcanoes. Or was that the Aztecs? Whoever it was that threw people in volcanoes. No, none of that, please. But apart from that, no problem with any of it, really. It's all pretty cool. Pretty cool. I did have a sort of flashback sort of reincarnation experience once where I thought that I was one of the people that had been sort of like sacrificed to the gods and stuff, and that wasn't nice, to be honest. I think I could do without that, but probably in a past life, if such a thing exists, I was involved in probably not just having that done to me, but administering it on other people because the circle of life and everything. So probably it's not a good thing. Let's not do that. Ever. Unless you're a past person and it's too late to really say anything about it. Very much like I said about past grievances. Say something at the time or never say anything ever again and just leave it at that. Yeah. Thought for the day. All right, well, I will see you soon, presently, next week, presently. Oh, presents. It's the present season. Oh, everyone gets presents for some reason or other, hopefully. Except if the people that don't. I'm sorry if you don't. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about that. If you get presents, then woohoo. If you don't, oh, let's get a present for something else. Yeah. Oh, no, you missed it. You missed it. Oh, well, you can always go back and watch it again. Watch it over and over. Forever and ever and ever. Oh, the joy. All right, then. I'm going to see you soon and have a lovely week. And bye-bye.